Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I am back. I am back. I am back. How are you all doing? It has been what seems to be a very long time since I have live streamed. Um, there's absolutely no excuse for it. Only thing that I can say, life has been having, life has had boxing gloves on for a minute now, if I could say anything. But that's needless. Needless? That's neither here nor there. I have a sim racing rig now. I finally was able to go ahead and purchase all of the things that I would need to get this setup done or to do this how I want to do it. And the last thing that I really have to update really is my pedals. I wanted to go with some Fanatec at the V3s, but the V2 pedals, but they're sold out, so I can't get my hands on those at the moment. V3s look pretty nice, but I would probably only go that high once I get something that's higher than 5 Newton meters, because that's what I have now. I don't have the 8 Newton meter power booster thing. I just have the 5 Newton meters. Don't have a camera at the moment either to be able to show my POV of the steering wheel. It's a lot of things that I'm still trying to figure out with me still being on console. So there is a little bit of disadvantages there as far as wheel. Now, before we start, I did indeed was doing some testing for the past couple of days. Just coming on here trying to basically get a feel for the wheel. I am not. I'm having a couple of issues at the moment as it pertains to the wheel. In this game, as far as like braking goes, I've noticed once I come off of my brakes, or once I get, or when I get on my brakes, the car likes to get, the car likes to lose the rear end a lot. Um, Also, too, when I don't know, it's kind of set up weird. I thought that this was going to be a lot more immersive than it is. And maybe that's just because, I'm just now, like, I guess I'm just now doing this, or I'm still early on in the process of using a wheel. But, when the cars lose control, like, they lose control. Like, I don't have that much control over stopping the vehicle from um just going out of whack, basically. Once it gets sideways, there's been no possible way for me to save it from not doing so. um I've tried to matter of fact, before we might as well just set something up here. Just give me a second right quick. This is still getting the layout of the buttons and stuff like that, so you have to spare me a little bit. Let's go to now. Also, too, I just want to say this stream is probably going to be like a test stream. I am in no way, shape, or form ready to get online and to do any type of racing at the moment. I really want to get this as dialed in as I possibly can. I've hopped on ACC, and I've done a bit of driving in single player on ACC. In that game, it feels great. Um, Feels really great. I know that game specifically tells me that it's not necessarily the wheel and my settings that is the issue, as far as like losing control of the car or anything like that. Like that game is damn near perfect when it comes to just um like dialing in my settings to be able to have the bass and the wheel do its job. It's just this game here is I put it like ACC tells me that my that the optional thing for me to do really is to up my Newton meters. But that game primarily tells me that my braking, that I need to update my pedals. Really, it's more apparent in that game that my pedals system needs to be updated. Which, I mean, if the V2s were available, I would more than likely have them right now, because it's not like I don't have the funds to get it. It's just they're out of stock, so it's like I'm kind of waiting on them to get back in stock, because I don't want to pay that $600 for V3 pedals at this point in time. Like I could get them, but at this moment I don't really see a need for me to have them, with me still being early on in um this basically being my first stream with this wheel, and really like my first complete date with this wheel. Um, so today might be a setup day. If you pop in the stream, if you are a sim racer, if you do race, if you have a wheel and setup like that, like I mean, feedback here and there will be pretty helpful. Pretty helpful. Oh, they added this in here. That's pretty cool. Start weather, mid race possibility. That's pretty cool. I used to use that a lot in the last motorsport. So back to what I was saying. Also, too, what I've noticed as well. So the wheel, I have the McLaren GT3 wheel, and the display that shows your speed or gear changes does not work with me being on console. It isn't a feature that is that I can get working in this game. Even when I change the dials, I still can't see anything. After a while, I'm going to go the PC route. I can get my PC right now, but there's a specific way that I want to have it set up, that I'm kind of just gathering all of the pieces still. So I'm going to show my settings of what I'm working with before we get on track and start driving. So this is what I got my settings to. Now, I don't know if everybody in this game runs simulation steering. I kind of told myself when I get a wheel that I'm only going to run simulation steering, because I was running normal on a controller. I would switch between simulation and normal when I was on a controller. But being on a wheel and having simulation is kind of like, it's just a no-brainer when I have to do that regardless. But yes, so here is my settings, right? I added this here. I took this up. I took both my deceleration and my acceleration to 10. Only because I'm still trying to figure this out. Now on my diff, I am playing around with my diff settings. I might start dropping my diff down to like 50 and below. Only because the pedals that I do have, I have base level pedals from Fanatec. Their lowest one. There is no spring, none of the fancy stuff, or I shouldn't say fancy, but I forget the word that describes what everybody goes for when they want to get their pedals. I don't have that, so I would only have to think that with my gas pedal being so light and my brake pedal also being very light, this can also be what contributes to me not having the best performance around track, I should say. So right now I'm playing with settings. This stream is probably going to be just that. I don't know if I'm going to join any other community events today, because I would be a mess out on the track. I at least want to get this dialed in to where I can get it to feel like ACC, to where I don't have to second guess my inputs, basically. So I'm working with that. I don't have a clutch at the moment. I would want to move to that point. I probably get like a 3-pedal setup and get to that point. But drop the handbrake all the way down. My vibration scale, this is one that I'm kind of going back and forth with. My vibration scale, I had it at, so I played with this one between 50 and 0. I dropped it to 0 because on a controller I had this at 75, but there is no load sensitivity on that I can mess with. I can only mess with the vibration scale. So load sensitivity and vibration scale for me feels the exact same. I don't necessarily know, like for load sensitivity, the higher that I go up, the less my mechanical trail and pneumatic trail feels. Just by reading the description, this gives how much aligning torque is applied to the tire load fluctuations. Lower values produce smoother aligning torque, but provides less feel of tire load changes. So, whatever my mechanical trail or pneumatic trail is doing, in my mind, it makes sense for me to have this lower. Like I said, Forza, when it comes to descriptions of what things does, it's very remedial. It doesn't make clear sense at all. It's like they just took the broadest thing that they can possibly find and typed it into the game as a description of something, but it really doesn't help at all. I normally have this at either 25. I play with this one between 25 and 50. I'm still trying to get this together. Road feel. Now, what I know from driving actual cars, not race cars, but just being out on the road in actual cars, you don't, in my mind, it plays like I don't necessarily feel the road that I'm driving on unless the road has any type of irregular attributes about it, you know, like cracking the road, maybe some lifted elevation parts of the road, maybe there's a bump, or maybe the ground is protruding upwards a little bit. So with road feel, I try to get feel a little bit of the road as I possibly can, because also too in Forza that I've noticed, once when I was on controller, when I lost vibration, I lost the car. When I had absolutely no vibration in the controller, that's when everything started to basically do what it wants. I was spinning out a lot, losing the end of the car a lot. But what I've noticed on wheel, having vibration up, it messes with my inputs. Like, it feels, I don't know how to explain it. It feels very weird. I'm looking for the most realistic feel that I possibly can while also being able to control the car in this game. That is ultimately what I'm looking for. Pneumatic, I only dropped this down to 30 because I thought that I needed more mechanical trail scale. But I've also noticed when the higher that I go up on this, the less that I feel. I don't necessarily feel anything, and I don't know if I'm doing this wrong. Because once I go to on my wheel, once I hit my settings to open up my settings, just let I'm at 900 as far as the sensitivity goes for the wheel. I'm at 900. I was running 1080 only because it seemed to mimic in-game steering wheel rotation a lot more. Force feedback I have at 100% because I only have 5 Newton meters. I mean, if I had like a 12 or if I had like a higher Newton meter, I would turn that down, but I'm running 5. I see a lot of people also run force feedback scale um, in this game higher. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that because on my wheel I have it at 100% and in the game I have it at 100%. I don't necessarily know if I want to take this up any further because you can also do that per vehicle, and I'm still trying to figure that out as well, the per vehicle of why that would even, because everywhere I look is very vague. The information isn't as clear as I need it to be. Like, I'm still trying to understand why you would take up the force feedback and what is that, excuse me, what is that compared to? What is the feeling that you're comparing? What feeling are you not getting to where you feel like you need to turn the force feedback up? Is it the numbness of the car when you're turning the wheel based on what you already have this setting and your steering wheel setting at? Like if you already have this set at force feedback set at 100 and your wheel set at 100 on the force feedback, and then you go in game and you drive a vehicle and you don't feel anything at that point, are you taking the force feedback scale up in the tuning menu? um that's just where my mind goes. Self steering, self aligning, well, steering self alignment, this one is also very having trouble understanding this one as well. Just the amount of steering used to automatically correct the direction of travel when no steering input is detected. I don't know why I even have this at 90. I don't know why I would turn this down at all instead of having it at 100, because from what I'm reading, when no steering input is detected is the confusing part. Adjust the amount of steering used to automatically correct the direction of travel. Now, reading that part without when no steering input is detected, reading that first part, adjust the amount of steering used to automatically correct the direction of travel. Um, if my direction of travel is left, then the amount of steering that I would have to use in order to correct that is 100% of my steering. That's what my in my mind that's what that sounds like. If I have this at 100, then that means that I would have to turn my wheel a considerable amount to correct that direction of travel. If I drop this lower, then I don't need that much. But here's the kicker to that. Doing a bit of research, um, I found that from a video, I can't remember what video it was. It said you really want to have this between 80 and 90. But here's the problem. I don't feel any of this. When I go on track and the car starts to get sideways, this makes me feel the lower the number, the less steering input I have to do in order to correct my direction. But it never helps. The car continuously goes in the direction that it wants to go in, and I just spin out, which led to me turning my mechanical trail up and my pneumatic trail down. I normally run 150 and 50. This is my setting here. I normally run this for my pneumatic and my mechanical trail. I don't feel anything. If I'm completely honest, I don't feel what either of these are doing. I don't feel it at all. Um, I don't feel anything. I couldn't even tell you. Now, when I turn my pneumatic trail up, I feel the tire, like, as it's saying, the only part of this description of this that is even remotely understandable and I can relate it to what I'm feeling on track is the part of this description that says moving tire contact patch, and scaling down will reduce the dynamic effects from tire deformation. I feel as I go up, I feel the tires. I feel what the car feels like to be on the track. It feels more lively to me. I don't know how realistic that is, though, the more I go up on my pneumatic scale. Mechanical, I don't feel this at all. I don't know what this does because I've turned my pneumatic scale down to 0 and I've turned this up to 200 and I've gotten on track, but I don't feel anything. And I say I don't feel anything very loosely because what I think the feeling of this is when I'm on track and my pneumatic is at 0 is that what I'm feeling is how can I describe it? I would say ease of use. But I'm at 150 from 100. After 150, I don't notice a difference in scaling. I don't notice anything. I don't notice a different feeling. I don't notice a better feeling of the vehicle or control of the vehicle when I'm on track. None of that. So I'm just gonna drop this back down to 150 and 50 because this, after doing some testing on track, this right here made the most sense. Didn't feel the best or didn't have a noticeable feel. It just made the most sense, if that makes any sense. Road feel, I play around with this because I'm still trying to get that feel of I don't necessarily want, and this is also too between load sensitivity, road feel scale, and vibration. When I have all of these at either set of number, when I'm on track, it messes with my inputs or seemingly messing with my inputs. Like I said, I'm new to the wheel, so I'm really just trying to get to a point to where I can get back racing as quick as I possibly can because I have been slacking on my videos, but that's because I've been trying to really get all of this stuff taken care of. So I guess from this point forward until I can actually get this set up well, it might just be live streams from here here on out until I can actually get this set up to where I can get on track and be better, either get back to my pace and my consistency or better. Because nobody, at least I feel, nobody wants to watch a video of where I'm just basically, excuse my language, or don't excuse my language, shit in the bed on track, basically. Just being an absolute dumpster fest on track. I don't think anybody wants to watch that. I know I wouldn't really want to watch that. And those of you all who are subscribed to the channel or who watch my videos, I know you don't want to. I mean, that would be odd to see me do that. And I'm right there with you. Load sensitivity. Just from reading the description, this scales how much aligning torque is affected by tire fluctuations. Lower value produces blah 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 blah, but provides less feel for tire changes. Now, this and I don't know. I don't even know what this does. Larger value provides a heavy feeling, while lower values give a light feeling with no resistance. A heavy feeling with no resistance, a lighter feeling with no resistance. This sets the resistance to the movement of your steering wheel. Larger values provide a heavy feeling. So the higher that I go up on this, the heavier my wheel should feel, right? So let's just test this out, right? I'm gonna put 200. So my wheel, when I get on track, should actually feel heavy. Let me make sure my tune is correct. And I'm just gonna do this on mediums at 100% because that's what I use to tune my vehicles. And doing good at and driving great or driving good while I have my tire and fuel set at what it's set at lets me know how good I'm going to do on track and lower fuels, same tire or stickier tires. So let's head to the track. Show my seat positions. Good. All right. So, before I do that, actually, I want to change something because this car, with my wheel being at 900, right, degrees of angle, I want to, because I did take a picture of this to, because I use ACC's uh, steering lock angles, and for the Mercedes is 640. So um, let's take 900 and subtract it by, let's just say 65%. That's 585. 900 subtracted by 75% is 675. 900 subtracted by 70% is 630. 900 subtracted by 670, 73%. 900 subtracted by 71% is 639. So I'm going to go in here, go to tune, and I'm going to drop my steering lock range to 71%. Force feedback scale, like I said, I don't even know what this is. A scale of the overall strength of force feedback when driving this car from your garage. I leave that at 100 because this is a lot of settings, and I'm still trying to get to the point to where where I actually understand what this stuff means. Uh, so give me just 1 second. I'm going to. Making my way to my YouTube channel at the moment. And but yeah, so I'm gonna turn this to 71%. And then we can get out on our track. I've also found that can't really tell if that's straight either. So I do feel the weight added to the wheel at 200 here. I am more than gonna bet that I am going to be clipping here. What else was I going to do? Also, too, yes, on the steering wheel as well. When I go to my force feedback scale on my wheel, I have it set to linear. I'm not sure because I run linear in ACC. Um, I don't know if I should be using peak or linear, but I just have it on linear. NDP I have off. Well, natural the, the depression. I think I don't know if it's depression. But nat DPR I have off. Natural friction I have off. Natural inertia I have off. Force feedback interpolation I turn this off as well, only because after doing a little bit of research, I found that a couple of people actually said having this up makes it feel very robotic. So I turned this off. FE intentions. I forget what that's called, but I still have that at 100 MPS motion. I just set it to auto because I don't think that this works while I'm on console. So I just left it off. Those are all of my wheel settings. So with this being at 200 now, let's do a little run around the track. I normally run in this camera view or this camera view because I don't have a camera yet. So we're just gonna run it in this one of them. Show you what I mean when we go around track. See how I'm like it's still turning no matter what, no matter how I do this, right? No matter how I'm going in this direction, it's not correcting itself at all. It's just still sliding. Like it's still sliding, which is, if I'm honest with you, very frustrating because I'm counter steering, but I'm not getting anything from counter steering, which is upsetting because that I don't have control of this car. I don't have control of the car at all. I've been looking at videos and things of that nature of ARBs and all of these things that people are running, and you got people running one and one on the ARBs. So the front end has very soft ARBs, which would give you a lot more oversteer, and they're able to counter steer absolutely no issue. But me going in this corner in third gear, I don't feel the front at all. I don't feel grip on the front end at all, to the point to where the sliding, the car is just getting away from me. Like it's just getting away from me, and I don't really understand what I was supposed to do. Like even there, it's like I'm being very soft on the wheel as well. It's not like I'm being hard on the wheel. Like I'm being very like careful of what I'm doing. I'm not throwing the car into the corners. Like it's just not. I honestly just don't. It won't let me take control of the vehicle. See that? Like I get on the throttle and it just goes. Like there is no correcting it. Like there is no correcting this car whatsoever. Like I don't really understand. It's no correcting any of them. Every single car that I've used so far, that has happened. Once the car goes sideways, there is no correcting it. There just isn't. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't even run that low of ARB. So the car is very. All of my settings is based on the car's weight, on the car's full weight and weight distribution. So the car is set up as the car is set up in a manner that is only using its own weight distribution. So I shouldn't be like, I have a bunch of formulas that I use to get my settings, and these are the same settings that I was running on controller that basically had, and I was winning with these setups and all of this stuff like that. Like I have a very thought out setup. But like I lose the car and I don't feel anything. I don't even, once I try to counter steer, I don't even feel the front tires anymore. Like I don't feel them doing anything. I don't feel like I have grip in the front of a car anymore. It's just gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. Like once it's gone, it's just gone. I don't feel it. I don't feel anything. And see, like I'm on the gas right there and I'm in third gear. I slightly have my wheel turned in order to go around that little bend, but then the rear end of my vehicle is literally just trying to slide away from me. Like it's trying to get away from me the entire time. It's just trying to get away from me. Like I didn't have this issue when I was on controller using this exact same setup. The only different thing that has changed right now is the fact that I took my steering lock down to 71%, but everything else is still the exact same thing. And I never had this issue with this car. I run this Mercedes more than I run any other vehicle that I have, and I'm just having to deal with this problem. It's very irritating, man. I have to be honest with you. It's very irritating, and it's very deterring too from me using the wheel in a sense. I don't know if it's my vibration scale that is causing this issue. Like I just turn it up to 50, right? And I'll test it out and see. Um, and maybe I guess while I'm at it, no, I'm gonna leave steering self alignment, steering self alignment, and even that sounds confusing because it seems as though when I take my hand off of the wheel, the wheel should try to uh, put itself back into place, in a sense. Now that I'm thinking about that, but doesn't necessarily seem like that's the case. Hmm, I don't know. So let's see, man. Let's see what it does. Turning up the vibration. Using the same concept in mind that when I lose vibration from the controller once the batteries are low, I would lose the control of the vehicle. It would just want to get away from me. So maybe turning the vibration up will help with keeping this car from feeling like it wants to get away from me. So let's just see if this helps. Try to go around the track some. See what we can do here. Now I shouldn't lose it on this corner. But then again, I don't have any front end grip there. And just like that, it's gone again. Uh Hopping over to a wheel is just now showing me how less of like I feel like I don't feel the my front tires. Like taking this corner, I've never have an issue with taking this corner, especially in third, coming off of throttle and just going around the corner, getting back on throttle mid corner, not all the way full throttling it through, but just being on it slightly. Never had an issue going around this corner, but just now going around it, I didn't feel my front wheels on track at all. It felt like I was floating. And I'm not sure what contributes to that feeling, but I don't feel anything going around. Like even taking it corner and fourth, I don't necessarily like that, and I know it's slower. See, I just it just continuously keep just I can counter steer all I want to, but it's not gonna correct itself. It's not gonna correct itself at all. And I'm not sure what to do to actually get that. That out of all of the things that really bothers me as far as being on a wheel now and just finding my zone or trying to get into a zone to where I can actually drive isn't even the simple fact that I don't feel the front tires on the track. It's just not being able to correct the car from spinning out. That's the most annoying part. And if I can completely, because I don't want to eliminate that issue, I don't want to minimize that. I want to eliminate that completely. I don't want that to even be an afterthought to where I'm on track and there's a possibility that I'm not going to be able to save my car from spinning out. Like, I just want to get rid of that completely. And not being able to do so is really, really upsetting me. It really is. I can't lie to you. Because I know my braking zones. I know I know where I take this at. I know my driving line. All of that. Like, I'm very aware. See, getting on the throttle coming out of the corner right there, it's just front end just does not comply with at whatsoever. It doesn't comply with any of my inputs whatsoever. The rear end just wants to get away. It just wants to get away. See, I'm doing all of this and it's just not doing anything, and I'm about to just start cursing now. It's no correction. No matter how many times I'm throwing my steering wheel to the side like that, it's just not correcting itself. I'm trying to be more positive about the situation and trying to get it to work, but it's just not doing anything, man. It's really fucking upsetting. I'm getting absolutely no feedback whatsoever to be able to like get it to correct itself. None. It's not doing anything. This controls how much the dampener decreases the preserved detail when tires are slipping. Lower values produce more constant dampening behavior. It scales how much the aligning torque is affected by tire load fluctuations. Lower values produce smoother aligning torque, but provides less feel for tire load changes. And I have it at 50, middle of the road feel. This scales higher frequency load inputs which come from the road surface and bumps. Research tells me that these two right here are the most important, but yet I don't. I just don't. I don't feel shit. I just don't. Trying to correct the car from spinning out is the most impossible thing for me to do right now, man. If I can only just get it from not spinning out, that'd be so much. That'd be so helpful. That'd be so helpful. But still trying to figure that out, man. You see, now that's the confusing part, right? What I just did here, what I just did just now, was I deliberately tried to lose the front end of the car, right? I did that, and I let go of the wheel and just let the wheel turn and go crazy, and it corrected itself. But it seems as though it only corrected itself once my wheel started to hit the 900 on either side. Once it started to stop itself on either side, that's the like this full lock right here is only when it corrected itself. But I've been trying to do that and it just won't do it. It just won't do it. It's just fucking bullshit, bro. Oh my god, this is so fucking annoying. Why is it so violent? Is my question. Like, I go to save it, but I'm full lock now. And now I get thrown in the opposite direction faster than. I don't know. I really don't know, man. I really don't know, dog. Why even try to save the car when it's not necessarily a save to begin with? It's just me. It's just me throwing the car in the opposite fucking direction, man. That's all it is. I go to save the car, and yet it isn't a save at all. It's just a potential disaster waiting to happen. Like there is no saving it. I don't know if I just have to start using normal steering. I just don't. I don't know. Really don't know. 'Cause, I mean, there seems to be a lot of people that use simulation steering, but I know for a fact there's a lot of people on wheel using normal steering as well. But then again, I really want to use simulation steering because I mean it's meant for the wheel, but it just seems like it's very it's. I think the only thing that would make me feel better about this situation is to know that the simulation steering in this game is just unusable because it's very undeveloped. If I knew that to be a fact, then I wouldn't necessarily use it. But me being on wheel, man, kind of feel the need to use it. ghost every time. Let me try something. I really don't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to. I really don't want to do this because this is messing with my. This will be me messing with my tune, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna drop that to 1 because I keep losing the rear end coming out of corner exit. And like I said, this setup, I've been using my setups for a very long time, and it never gave me issues like this coming out of the corner, especially when I'm not even on full throttle. Just straighten the fuck up. That's all I need you to do. Just please. Just please, bro. Please. Coming out of this corner, getting on throttle, only for it to just want to just slide at the... I'm doing good. I don't even know what my splits are when I was on controller at some of these, but this corner here is just... Oh my boy. I turn my wheel left and it goes more right. Mistake number fucking one. I'm going to change something. Low sensitivity, I'm going to go to 25. Road feel, I'm going to keep at 25. Vibrations, I'm going to put at 25. This, I'm going to go back to 50. Let's see. Just straighten up. Like I'm not even turning. I'm not jerking the wheel to the fucking right. Why are you Why are you jumping right for? I don't understand that. It's the dumbest fucking physics I've ever seen in my life. Like if I'm trying to if I'm counter steering to the same level of force that's being applied, that's sending my car in that direction or in the opposite direction, then I should be straightening up more than anything. The front end of this car isn't that light to the point to where I'm throwing the car in the opposite direction just from me counter steering. It's a 50-50 weight distribution car, and even without that, it's 42. And even without that, it's 48 in the front and 52 in the rear. It damn near has equal weight on both sides. There's no way possible that I'm tossing this car all over the place like that. It's not. It isn't possible. Literally has the exact same weight distribution, bro. Um, this is too numb. I think I like my pneumatic scale here because I can feel, or maybe is it mechanical? I think it's pneumatic trail scale that basically let me see. Vibrations being at 25 is pretty good. I like that. It's just enough to where I can actually feel some type of vibrations in the wheel. It isn't necessarily obstructing my um my steering process. Um, Scaling this down will reduce the dramatic effects from tire deformation. This right here, by far, is the only setting that I can actually feel what it says that it's supposed to do. I can actually feel. Vibration scale, yeah, that's a given. I mean, that was kind of eh. Force feedback, that's like four different force feedback scale settings. That you got one on your wheel, got one in game, got one on the tuning. It's just too much. That lets me know the force feedback and it's just fucking trash. And how they have it set up because there will be no need for if since force feedback is here and it's on the wheel and you can't even change this or in the tuning setting unless you have a wheel and you can't even change the force feedback on the wheel unless you have a wheel. There shouldn't be three options of this, and it shouldn't even be in the tuning setting. Because if it's in the tuning setting, then it does not need to be in the wheel advanced setting because you have a wheel. You can do that on your wheel. If you change the force feedback scale here, then what will be the need for it to be in your tuning setting? It's just trash. It's everywhere. Mechanical scale, I just don't know. I'm still confused on mechanical trail. It says that it's based on the suspension geometry. I don't necessarily know how true that is. Maybe I need to go into the suspension geometry and do some stuff because I'm running 0 0 and I'm running the lowest settings that I possibly can run on the other two. Road feel, I like where this is at. It's not really when I go over bumps, I feel those, but it's not tossing me any type of where. Low sensitivity, lower values produce smoother aligning torque but provides less feel for the tire load changes. Provides less feel for tire load changes. I might run this back up to 50. What does it mean by aligning torque though? Don't don't really get that. They use certain terminologies that just makes this so stupid. It's not very clear. What is aligning torque? In this game specifically, what is that? What is that compared to? Is it meaning the aligning of the wheel? I mean, of course, I'm in the wheel settings, but I can't feel in the wheel where this basically. Really, I'm just trying to pinpoint everything to the feeling that I'm getting from the wheel, the base and wheel. Lower values produce smoother aligning torque. I'm just gonna keep that at 25. And I'm not gonna touch these anymore because I think that this is perfect for me where it's at. Because pneumatic scale, I can still feel when I'm in the corner and stuff like that. I can still feel this, and I can feel when I'm losing. When I'm losing. When it's slipping. When I'm losing traction, I can still feel when it goes away. It's light, and it's a light feel. It's almost like it's a gradient, basically, or it's like a fading effect. I can feel this one. As to when I have it at 100, I can most definitely feel when I'm on the track, and I can most definitely feel like when I lose traction. But lower, still trying to process the benefit of it being lower. Vibration scale 25. Yeah, we're gonna leave that there. Or I might drop it down to 20. Depends. I gotta do another some more tracks. I only chose this track because I know Sebring is a very bumpy track. Is so many different type of materials on this track as you're driving over it or around the track to the point where I felt like this is probably the best track to get an abundance of information to where you can kind of pinpoint things. So I came here for a better understanding of what my wheel settings are actually telling me. Um, Also, too, I'm dropping my steering lock down to 75, giving it 639, 640 basically, using the wheel lock, the steering lock settings from ACC or from like actual racing, their steering lock from the actual cars. Actually, it's pretty good. It helps a lot. I'm getting used to that. So I think that I'm gonna do that for all of my cars. Uh, but what I'm really trying to understand now, suspension geometry things. I'm gonna have to figure that out. So, let's see. What did I change? Let me go here. Let me go here. Because I don't feel anything as far as this goes. So let's go up to. Let's go to 125. All right. See what type of a change this brings about. Trying to see if I'm clipping or not. I'm getting very close. Unnecessary. I hate that with a passion. Oh boy, I hate that with a passion. The front is just. I don't know if the front of the car is lifting when I'm getting on throttle, and that's what's causing it to just want to spin like this. But boy, oh boy, this is irritating. Let's take this to 9.8, right? Just gonna do that. Just gonna take it to 9.8. All right, let's see. I'm feeling like I'm having some type of progress though. But this is a bit of a learning curve. Bit of a learning curve right here. Once I get it though, once I get it though, I'm gonna be dangerous. Going to be dangerous. No, let's take it. Let's take it all the way up to the top. Because when you're being at 9.8 now, it's saying it's supposed to make it stiffer, which basically gives me understeer, which should help me in these corners. That felt pretty fast. Tires are screeching though. I don't like that, but I think that would have to be because I'm getting lift from the suspension geometry. But getting on the throttle coming out of the corners, it's pretty consistent now. That though, when I'm getting on my brakes and it's locking up, is an issue now, and I don't necessarily know how to stop that. Let me go, because right now I'm tossing. My tune is getting thrown all out of whack now. I'm gonna do -10. Do -10, -10. How am I supposed to save it? How am I supposed to save it when 50% doesn't do it? Attention. My left tire just went gold without my right tire going gold, and I don't know why. But we made it to 205.1. Making a little bit of progress. 19 laps. Um, little bit of progress here and there. Might have to um figure out my faults. Might have to and figure out my faults and stuff. Let's do something, right? So our Mercedes, well, my Mercedes is guessing on the way. Let's see if I can somehow, some way, get in a more stable car and do something different. So figure out these buttons. What's the most stable car out of all of this? It's got to be one of the BMWs. We might hop into the M8. I have to hop in the M8. Well, let's just hop in my car. Let's complete the package. All right, fuel 100, tune. Seems to be all here. I'm gonna make my way down here though to change this. 71 is 639 for the steering wheel lock. And this car being the McLaren uses a 4. No, that's 4. That's McLaren 650. Oh, McLaren 720 uses a 480 steering lock. So let's get out our little calculator here and do some math. 900 subtracted by, let's see if I can get it first try. So if 71 is 6 something and this is 4 something, then let's do 60. 60%, 540. 540, so I gotta go less than that. 900 subtracted by 40%, it's 360. 900 subtracted by 49% is 441. So what am I looking for again? 480. 900 subtracted by 55%, 495. 53%. It's 539. So 900 subtracted by 53%. 900 subtracted by 53%. 900 subtracted by 53% is 477. And I'm looking for 480. 900 subtracted by 54%, 486. Subtracted by 53.5%. 900 subtracted by 53.5% is 481.5. So 900 subtracted by 52.5% is 472. 900 subtracted by 53% is 477. 900 subtracted by 53.2%. 900 subtracted by 53.4%. It's 480. So we're just gonna go with 53. Okay. Gotta get a feel for this car's force feedback. 60. I'm just not gonna deal with that. I'm gonna do 50 just as a starting point, and we're gonna do 25 as a starting point. No, 20. I'm gonna do 20 as a starting point. Brakes are at 48. That scares me. Here we have this. So we're just gonna try this out as it is, and then try to make adjustments here and there. This is just going to tell me whether or not I'm in the correct path, and I might have to tweak certain things on my tune, being the suspension geometry, being the brake, the diff, steering wheel, and maybe I would have to tweak my anti-roll bars, because I'm losing the rear end because of this. So I'm going to test this out right quick. All right, I'm going to test this car out right quick. Away we go. I might have to take my anti-roll bars back up on my Mercedes, because this seems like it's... Just keep sliding. Just keeps on sliding. Let me try something. I'm about to test this corner out. I'm gonna try to go into this corner as hard as I possibly can. As I just need to test my braking zone out. I'm gonna try to change my camera view there. I keep hitting the wrong button. Let's see. Um, not sure, man. I'm not sure. Making a bit of progress here. So we are getting somewhere, but I need a lot more practice. I'm getting used to the steering lock setting inside of here and the force feedback setting for the wheel inside of the tuning menu. What I'm going to have to do now, though, is retune my I'm gonna have to retune my cars now to be a lot more stable coming out of the corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep my ARBs the way that I have them because that's based on the car's weight. And what I'm going to do is things that aren't based off of the car's weight, I'm going to well, things that I don't have a formula for, I'm going to use those to get my control of the car out of the corner, which is more than likely going to be my suspension geometry. I got to figure all of that stuff back out as it relates to me being on the wheel now, because front end grip is something, and the car is pulling. When I get on the brakes, it's pulling to whatever side it wants to pull to. I feel my tires slipping, so that's a good thing. In these corners, I feel my tires slipping. So what I have to now go back to the drawing board on and work on is braking, suspension geometry, probably tires, tire pressure. But I'm actually able to drive on simulation steering now. I'm used to it now at this point. And I'm used to the steering lock. And those things. Just got to get my braking down. But I know for a fact now that I need to upgrade my pedals because I'm doing pretty decent on the pedals that I have. Like if you have a Fanatec setup, you know those I won't even call them entry level, but you know those pedals. You only get a gas pedal and a brake pedal. Those. I want some really good pedals. If you're seeing this and you've made it this far, let me know what pedals are compatible with Fanatec, the Fanatec base. Might have to make an early purchase on some of those if they are better than the Fanatec V2s. But yeah, let me know. I will more than likely go ahead and upgrade my pedals as fast as I possibly can. Yeah. 205 seems to be my place of where I'm at right now. But I mean, other than that, doing really really good. Finding some level of consistency. So let's bag out. All right. I don't know why I hit the home button, but we're gonna bag out. And let's change car. Do a car that I don't have a tune on at the moment. And that being the new Aston Martin. Or old Aston Martin, because this is the 2018 version. Because they can't seem to get anything right. So, what I'm noticing I'm probably going to have to work on is tire pressure. Which, to be honest with you, this one... This one right here, I don't know. Is it saying low tire pressures will reduce overall response, while high tire pressure can result in skittish handling? But I'm having skittish handling on the McLaren, so I might have to drop my tire pressure down from that, because I think I'm running 28.5 on that. I might have to go down to 27 or 26.5 on the front tires on that vehicle. Uh, but then again, the tire model in this game also sucks. So there's no possible way for me to understand if I am indeed doing good, the lower and tire pressure that I go down. I'm not even sure what's the range in this game as far as good what good tire pressure should be. I need to put my settings back at metric, metrics. I need to put my settings back in metrics instead of imperial. It's just easier to, not just, I guess, more accurate to understand. Basically, I say that much. Gonna have to mess around with toe as well. I see that dropping my acceleration, dropping this below 50 seems to be a great addition to being on the wheel, and it helps. With keeping my traction coming out of the corners, which is great to know, because outside of this I was running above 50%. So I would say from 25% to 50% is probably going to end up being my range, or I might do 30 to 50 might be my range as far as my acceleration out of the corner. Because I don't have, that's what it is, load cell pedals. I don't have load cell pedals. And I need to get some. For my gas, my brake, and eventually clutch. I probably won't ever use the clutch, because I love GT4 and GT3 racing. I don't know if any of them outside of the older cars might have a clutch at this point. I think everything now has gone pedal shifters, so I doubt any of these cars have a clutch. But and deacceleration, I'm gonna have to figure this out as well, and get a gauge of where this is going to be at. I want to say maybe 15 to 30 will be my range. 15 to 30 might be the range, because I know the Porsches are very tail happy in here. But things that I'm gonna have to work on: braking, diff, steering wheel. Leave arrow alone. I have to go back to the drum board on suspension geometry. I'm gonna leave my damping alone. I'm gonna leave my springs and ride height alone. ARBs I can leave alone. Alignment, as far as camber goes, I probably have to figure that out, and caster and how this affects me being on the wheel now at this point. Gearing I can leave alone, and tires that I can kind of semi like leave alone. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, everything seems to be pretty decent. And with that being said, we're gonna call it right there. That's gonna be the end of this stream. I will be seeing you all a lot more, with a lot more different streams. To be honest with you, I want to get back to it. I've just been having to get some stuff situated on my end that has been plaguing me, and has really been taken away from my motivation and my determination. Really, still on the goal is still 500 subscribers. Viewer count has fallen down a lot from what I have been getting, or what I was getting. We're gonna try to get that back up. Like I said, we're gonna be working with this to get to a point to where I can keep my vehicles and stuff like that very stable. I'm going to be revamping the channel pretty soon as well. because I also want to start doing some ACC content. So there's a strong chance that you could see a career mode from ACC from me very soon. I have to hop over into that game and get some understanding of the tuning over on that side, and settings as far as the steering wheel goes, and how I can maximize my pace, and maximize my understanding of how everything on that side will work. And once I get to that point, you will be seeing some ACC content, because I know the name of my channel is Garage One Motorsport. That's because I love motorsports, not particularly this game. This game is called Motorsports, but I love motorsports in general. Um, and that's in Garage One Motorsports. Garage One being, you know, um, so we have Garage One Motorsports. A lot of the subtitles above a lot of the where my events fall at, where you have like replays and you have things of that nature, those won't change. Um, those won't change at all, nor will the border colors around the videos will change at all either. Um, I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to go about doing this, because I mean the only other racing games that I play or am going to end up playing at the moment is ACC and Forza, really. Because there's a community over here in Forza that I am a part of, and there's a lot of people who actually have Forza that want to race me, and that have reached out to race or end up in a race with me. So I don't think that I'm ever going to completely stop playing Forza. I just have to figure out a way how to integrate the ACC content in here. I might have to make some more subtitles and place the ACC content above the motorsport content to just keep it less confusing on where to find the ACC, my events in the ACC, or the career mode in ACC. So I'll be going over my YouTube channel today, or sometime this week coming up, to basically get that under control. Like I said, a lot of the videos that you all going to get, or a lot of the content that you all going to get now, is going to be more so live streams, until I can get all of my vehicles in a place and get comfortable enough in a place to where I can find my pace again. Because I don't want to just put up a mediocre event far as a race goes, and you have to watch me just basically be crappy around the track and stuff like that. That's not what I want to do, and I don't think that that would be fair to just put up out of the way instead of me being prepared to actually race. So I want to get that stuff taken care of, and you'll start seeing those events start to pop up a lot more than they actually used to. You're going to start seeing a whole lot of stuff. I have a video that's going to go up today, of a race just before I got my wheel. And that won't go up. I do still have some liveries that I have to put out as well. Those are going to go out all of this week. So you're going to see that content as well. And anything else that I may have private, that content is going to go up as well on the YouTube channel. But until then, I want to say thank you all, or thank you to those of you all who have stuck around and who have shown the videos some love still, and showed the channel some love. I mean, looking forward to the videos. It's just an update of what's been going on with the channel and going on with me, and why the content has slowed down on the channel. But I'm gonna do my best to pick that back up. Just wanted to do a stream today to basically, just give something, or to put something on the channel, or as far as like progress goes on where I'm at with the wheel. Because I've had the wheel for about, I want to say maybe a week now, or maybe almost close to a week now, and I've been jumping on here and there, trying to get some stuff set up, and just trying to understand it better, and the settings, and how to get it dialed into the way that I want. But I won't talk your guys' ears off any longer. That's going to be it from me. And yeah, I am Pointed. I want to say thank you all again. I will catch you all in the next videos to come. And like always, keep racing fun, keep racing competitive, Keep racing clean. I'm G1M Pointed. And I'll catch you all in the next one, man. Peace.